Welcome to New Release Review, part of the Movie Friends podcast. Today we are talking about Sasquatch Sunset from 2024. We will be discussing spoilers the entire episode, so if you haven't seen Sasquatch Sunset, please go watch it, then come back and listen. My guest for today is Anthony, aka HusbAnt, aka my husband.
Hey, friends.
Question for you. Do you say 2024 or 2024?
Oh, no. I thought that was weird when you said it.
Wasn't it weird? I tripped over that because I don't think
why don't you just say 2024?
Oh, that is so weird. I'm going to keep it in because that's real.
Yep.
But I didn't like it.
No. 2024.
2024.
In the year 2024, when I saw Sasquatch Sunset.
Right? So weird. It's also weird that I'm doing a new release review on Movie Friends.
Right.
No Seth.
Yep. Mitch saw a movie. What?
A new movie in the theaters. But it kind of feels right because you were the first person I ever podcasted with.
Yeah, this is like back to basics.
This is
podcasting.
really back to basics.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, that people don't care. The Movie Friends world, they do not care.
Heartless.
About
they have no nostalgia for the start of,
Not that audience.
No.
Not that audience.
No.
But we are going to talk about Sasquatch Sunset. Written by David Zellner, directed by David and Nathan Zellner, cinematography by Mike Goulaklis, stars Jesse Eisenberg, Riley Keough, Christoph Zajac, Danik and Nathan Zellner, soundtrack Octopus Project, which that was a good
soundtrack. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely listen to it. I'm glad you found it.
Yeah. So a little behind the scenes. I don't know how Seth does these, but this is Michelle time.
Yeah, no, take it.
So this movie was playing by us, but by the time we got a chance to go see it, it wasn't playing anywhere near us. So we drove about 45 minutes.
Yep. It's all relative because 45 minutes is not far for a lot of people.
That's true, but compared to where we live,
yeah,
we have so many theaters close to us.
Yeah, we probably passed like 50 movie theaters.
Right, give or take, right? But I knew I had to go see this, so we made an outing of it, and we've never been to this theater, Seaford Cinema, which felt so old school.
Yeah, it was a tiny. It just felt like movies back in 2006, 2005.
Really, it felt like 90s for me.
Wow,
like United Artists.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. You're United Art. Yeah, I guess early 2000s for me.
Yeah. I feel like by us, we either go to Lowe's or we go to Regal or AMC, right? This had none of that. I don't know how this operates, but it was a small theater. Well, let me back up. We go in. There's a fish tank in the lobby.
Yeah.
Which
random
was odd.
Yeah, it drew my attention.
Yeah. We got popcorn. We go into the theater. I thought we were going to be the only ones, but there were actually a couple of other people.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised that there was a couple people,
Yeah, and there was only one time available.
Yeah.
For this movie on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Limited release.
I guess so. We were amused by what was shown to us before the movie.
Yeah.
The trailers.
Yeah. I guess they just don't know what to put.
I don't know how that works. Maybe someone could reach out. Like, who picks what trailers play before a movie?
Whose responsibility is that?
But it was the new Minions.
Yep.
And Garfield.
Yeah.
2 animated movies.
Yeah. Garfield, would you say reimagined?
I guess.
That actually, the beginning of that trailer, very sad. Made me kind of cry.
Because it was a hungry little Garfield.
Because it was a hungry little cat, and John was so lonely.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, do we need this? I mean, Seth and I talk about that all the time. Do we need anything? No.
No, we don't need any of this.
No. But then we had this fun animated retro short. Let's go to the lobby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's all go to the
lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat.
Oh.
It's a treat.
Oh,
man, we were doing so well.
Oops.
Anyway, but that's what played, and then that was it. It wasn't like any of the big theatrical.
No.
Turn off your cell phone.
No, they didn't even ask you to turn off your cell phone.
I know.
They said, please record.
No. But anyway, when the movie ended, we gave our thoughts to each other kind of, but we didn't really like talk in detail about it. So
No.
I would love to know how you felt about this and going into it, if you knew anything.
No, so I knew very, very, I watched the trailer that you sent. So like I knew it was just going to be kind of wandering. I didn't know if it was strictly like documentary or if it was going to be like they were going to talk, and there was going to be, I didn't know anything about that. So I was ready for just about anything. That didn't, so I wasn't surprised at what we watched. I thought the only thing that was missing was like, a David Attenborough voiceover.
See, I'm glad they didn't do that.
No. I like the only thing missing from making it like a real, like regular nature documentary.
Oh, I see.
Like without that, like you add that over and it's just like, yeah, sure. It might as well be about birds.
Right. It was so, in my opinion, beautiful and incredibly sweet. We saw this on Sunday. We're recording this on Tuesday, so I've had like lots of time to marinate my thoughts and read some reviews. And like, I did not see the word sweet used anywhere to describe this movie. And it's the first word that comes to mind for me. Yeah,
I wouldn't have described it as sweet. I mean, there were sweet moments, but it was just very like, I want to say visceral, but not really. Visceral is not really the word. It's like, that's too much for it, but it was just real. Like I found myself thinking a lot what it must have been like for like Neanderthals or early man to be walking around. Obviously there were more modern dangers, but the threat of just death or dismemberment or just general danger around everywhere. You just don't feel that as much. Like you feel different, like kind of man-made fear now, but
yeah. So the story follows a family of 4 of Sasquatches. You have the alpha, you have a second male figure,
the beta, I guess,
the female, and then a young Sasquatch. Because I wouldn't say like mom, dad, and then
no, we'd be projecting, I think.
Right. That's not really what it was, but we follow their story over a year. And so we start out in spring. I love a movie that does chapters.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Because that there's going to be an end.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I thought that the actors did an amazing job portraying these creatures.
Yeah.
There's no dialogue.
No.
There's no...
It was all like emotion and physical gesture.
Yeah.
Which made me think like, what is like a pay scale if you don't speak?
Oh, interesting.
Like I wonder... Because I feel like it's harder, but it's also... No, it's harder. It can't be easier.
What do you mean?
Like to like act this, like, what I mean? It's harder than speaking lines. Like if you're an actor who's used to speaking lines, this has got to be more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg, he's friends with the Zellner brothers, and so he was automatically like drawn to this. They shot this movie for 25 days. Which to
25
me,
days straight.
Which to me like blows my mind. This is what I've read. So if anybody comes at me and was like, it was 26 days or it was 30, then sure. But this is what I read. It took 2 hours to apply the muscular suit and then the hair and prosthetics.
I couldn't, like that was, I was thinking about that the entire time too.
And they said, I watched some interviews with the actors and they said that like it was incredibly taxing.
Oh, yeah.
And draining on the body. But once you have this application on, it was really easy to get into character.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like you're dressed up like a big ape.
Yeah. Ape-like. Do you think... Ape-like? What?
Yeah, like defending the Sasquatch.
Hey, listen. I don't necessarily know if I view Sasquatches as like the missing link between to human, right?
No, yeah, I mean, like it was, what was interesting that I was just thinking about before, that like they weren't actively trying to hide from anything, but like when we think about Sasquatch, or at least the way I thought about Sasquatch, it was like they were purposely hiding from humanity. But this is just like they were just like incidentally not seen
Right.
You know, they were wandering around where there was clearly, you know, human work being done. Anyway, that was like a tangent, but it was something I wanted to express, and I didn't think that I'd have a better opportunity.
Okay.
But I never really thought about them being a missing link or anything.
Yeah. I loved that this was from the point of view of Sasquatches instead of it being like humans hunting them or them presented in like this horrific way or that they're an alien. You know, it's always like this horror element attached to them or like an animated character for children.
Right.
This was like, if they were to exist, this is how they would be. And like, there were some gross parts, you know,
like what?
Like, but like, even the gross parts did not bother me.
There
like
were, there were parts where I was like, you know, like that face was like, your face is like,
right. Like they're defecating and they're throwing their feces and they're like peeing on things to mark territory. You know, vomiting. But like, to me, I'm like, oh, but that's so animalistic.
Yeah, they were just very animalistic. Yeah.
And so I don't know, it didn't shock me.
Yeah, no, it was just nature. Right?
It was just nature. Exactly.
With some ridiculousness to it.
Yeah, there's like some humor attached to it, but
like, you know, when he ate the berries and then the mushroom and was just like clearly
drunk
tripping
and high and tripping. Yeah, that was funny.
He tried to, you know, mate with a, you know, cougar.
Which killed him.
Yeah.
But even that, like, makes it relatable to us to have, like, that human experience. Not that we will try to, you know, screw a mountain lion.
Right.
But you get drunk, you get high, maybe you're horny.
Right.
Like, you can relate to that.
Yeah, you make bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a very human. Yeah, it was just like a very fluid animal to human, animal to human, animal to human.
Yeah.
Kind of flow.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite moments and some moments that shocked you?
Okay, so one of my favorite moments was when they stumbled onto the campsite and they got the boombox going and they were listening to the music.
Yeah.
And she shed a single tear.
See, I that made me tear.
Yeah.
Because that was like her experiencing emotion.
Mm-hmm.
The music brought her to tears and not knowing really truly how to express it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Because they're not evolved to that point yet. And so you're like feeling this feeling. You ever hear music and you just cry?
Yep.
Because there's no other way to express that emotion.
Yeah, no, music really brings up a lot of emotions.
And so that happens, but then like I think it overtakes and then they destroy the campsite.
Yeah, she gets all mad, like you said, probably because she doesn't know how to process that feeling or whatever. Maybe she was, whatever made her think of, you know, I mean.
That's true.
Like being alone, maybe.
Yeah. This family, this pack is experiencing such loneliness.
Yeah. Like they're always knocking on the trees to try to call other ones, like which also made me think, like, how do they know that other Sasquatch are going to respond that way? Were they a larger group previously? Did they get split up?
Yeah.
You know, like are they just dwindling?
I think so, yeah.
Like, and they're just going to die off?
Or it's like instinctual to, let's try this. We do it. Maybe someone will answer.
Right.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So, okay. So
you liked that scene.
I liked that scene. What was one of your favorite scenes?
I really liked that scene. I felt the way it was shot was beautiful. I mean, we had this like close-up shot of just the boombox and like the inner workings of the speaker.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then when we had the close-up of her tear, also in the same scene of the campsite, the young one eating nerds and eating candy and like going through the snacks.
Mm-hmm.
But also what I found interesting to add in like a little bit of a fear in that scene was thinking about like if I was camping in the woods in the Pacific Northwest and I came back to my campsite and it was destroyed, I would be freaked out.
Yeah. I'd be like bears, you know.
Right. Or they're in Bigfoot territory.
Right. True. Yeah. I mean, a believer would be like, this is Bigfoot.
This is Bigfoot. Look at the footsteps.
True. Yeah. There'd be Yeah. I was thinking about them getting caught. I was like, oh man, they're going to get caught.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also I liked like all the nature, like where they would do the shots of the mountains. Like it was just beautiful.
It was so beautiful. And to see from spring, summer, fall, and winter.
Yeah.
One of my other favorite scenes is if we shoot over to winter with the young one playing in the snow. I also shed a tear because I thought that was so incredibly sweet and again relatable to when you're a kid and you're so excited for a snow day and you're just like jumping in the snow. The young one was probably my favorite. He was so childlike. He was so incredibly sweet towards his mother. I'm assuming it's his mother, but the female.
Yeah, I presume that was his mother because she was nursing off of her and everything. He
was very curious. You could tell he was caring. I loved how he made little hand puppets and to talk to himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like, it just reminded me of being a kid.
That was like a very human kind of thing.
Yeah. I also loved the use of animals.
Yes. Yeah, they were just around, which I thought was cool because that just shows that like they just viewed the Sasquatch as animals, not like humans.
That's right.
They wouldn't be running or anything.
And no CGI was used. Those were all real animals.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It made me think of, like Universal with that ride, with the animal ride or the animal show with the trained animals.
Yes.
That's all I can think about was like the fact that there's like, they have them run around and just like they're trained.
Some interviews I heard, like the animals didn't care that they were dressed like Sasquatches. They just cared about getting a snack.
Yeah, right. That's because they're so well trained.
That so much. Like no CGI. I've said it before on this show. Like, give me a movie that doesn't use CGI.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie is incredibly beautiful. And the fact that we're using it just felt so. It was having trouble articulating my words because I'm so overly excited about this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was just like it was a pleasant experience.
I felt I was captivated the entire time.
Yeah.
I wasn't bored. An hour and a half, I think, is a perfect amount of time.
Yeah. There were people that came into the theater late and they were like talking. And
I was so mad.
I was so mad and I had a hard time like I kept running through a scenario like if I would tell them to be quiet.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm like be quiet for what,
Right.
Like so that I
That's a good point.
Hear them go, or not, I can't hear them knocking on the trees with their sticks. It's like, I was just like, all right, well, I won't say it. Unless it got to be egregious, and then I'd be like, come on, guys.
They did end up becoming quiet.
They quieted down, but they came in late and were like rude.
I know.
Like, that's like, it just amazes me that people are so mindlessly rude to everyone else.
And like, regardless if this movie might seem like a joke or there's no dialogue, no.
Yeah, like, come in and, be kind to your neighbors.
One thing I kept racking my brain around, I love Sasquatch. I love everything that has to do with Sasquatch lore. So I knew I would love this either way. That being said, I'm trying to think like, if I wasn't into Sasquatch, is this still a good movie? And I think it set out to do what it was meant to do.
Yeah.
It is so beautifully shot. The soundtrack is beautiful. And like, if you were to change the soundtrack or add sound effects in a comedic way, this movie could be interpreted completely different.
Oh, yeah.
But you layer it with the music, it's extremely emotional.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like, it was a beautiful experience. It was like I said, it was just like any other nature doc.
Yeah.
Like, I love nature docs, so it's like I'm all for it. But it was like nature doc with obvious added talent.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know I was going to cry so much.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't go into it thinking, and I watched the trailer. I read a couple of reviews, and all the reviews I read before were just like, it's gross. I left the theater. There's so much, poop, and there's so much sex. And I was like, whatever. Like, that doesn't bother me.
There isn't even so much sex.
Like, they're animals and they're horny, some sex. Like, who cares?
Yeah, what did you want?
Yeah, like, I don't...
Like, yeah, like, what are you going... Like, what did you want? You wanted, what, like the Bigfoot TV shows that are on?
Right. Did you want them to talk?
Yeah.
And then it would be comical.
Yeah, it would have been really funny if they were talking.
Right. If been a completely different, the tone would have been completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
But the first one, we have 2 deaths. And so the first one, the alpha dies because he tries to screw the mountain lion.
Yeah.
I didn't cry at that one, but I gasped when the other 3 find him and he's dead and the mountain lion is eating his insides.
Eating his insides out, yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's pretty graphic.
Yeah, it was. He was like just tearing at him.
Yeah.
But just real quick about the death.
Yeah.
They took him and then they buried him.
They buried him. I'm so glad you brought that up because that just made me think again why humans haven't found Sasquatch is because, well, they bury their dead.
Right.
And they have a whole ritual.
I know. That was also very they treat death because like they could have just left him with the mountain lion.
Right.
But they scared away the mountain lion and then took his body and buried him.
And so they have it in them.
Yeah.
To bury, and they leave little, homemade trinkets.
Yeah, they made like a little memorial thing for him. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
But then the next death, when they're in the body, what is it, like a river?
Yeah, the river.
And they're splashing, and it's summer, and it's hot, and Jesse Eisenberg's Squatch finds this log, and it's just, is playing with it, jumping on it, and then falls in the water. And
well, he was trying to count the rings.
He was trying to count, but he was also jumping on it.
Well,
too.
yeah. Then he got frustrated because he can't count because like he kept like getting to the same number. Got frustrated and then was like angry at it and then just jumped on it.
Yeah.
And then it slipped and he fell off and it rolled onto him, and he was like kind of half in the water, and then it kept kind of creeping and rolling, and he would just like lower into the water and couldn't do anything, and then it finally like the female is trying to help him out,
and the young one is trying to help him out.
Yeah, and then like unfortunately like she was like pregnant for like a few months at that point, and she did kind of lift it up off of him, but he couldn't quite get out, and then it rolled further, and like his head was just under the water. God. And she was like freaking out and trying to like move the water away from his face, but it wasn't, there's nothing you do. Yeah. I was like, wow, that was
so
that was
upsetting.
a tough because that's the type of death where it's like, it's just, you have to be very cognizant of the danger around you all the time, where like you do one dumb thing and you die from it. Like he was jumping on a log, like that shouldn't be dangerous.
But then for the other 2 to not know enough to just move it in one direction.
Right. Yeah. The kid was on the opposite side. He should have came onto the one side. They could have both pushed, and
they're like evolved only to a certain point.
Yep.
And just to go back to the counting, this was like a trait, a personality storyline of Jesse Eisenberg's Squatch is he was trying to count. We see him multiple times. He's trying to count the stars. He only gets so far.
Yep.
Trying to count the rings in the tree, and he's getting frustrated because he knows enough that he wants to count, but it actually can't comprehend the counting.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
It was. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. Also, before I get to the next part where I cried, but throughout the seasons that were following them, we're noticing these red X's in the forest. Mm-hmm. And like, to me, that's just like a signal of like, human interference here.
Yep. I thought it was going to be some sort of like M. Night Shyamalan twist kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if they were going to kind of like introduce this like nefarious like logging company or something. I didn't know what, but it was obviously just like they were just captivated by this like symbol. So like they recognize symbols.
Yes. Well, they made those symbols with the burials.
Right.
Yeah. So then when when that Squatch comes up to shore, they grab him and they bury him. A second one is buried.
Yeah.
And then at this point, you have the female, the young one, and she's pregnant.
Yeah, and she's pregnant. So like struggling and yeah, obviously just alone. Yeah, that was when I really felt for her.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, oh, wow. The beta is now gone, and, she probably didn't even really like him that much.
Right.
And now it's just her and this young boy who can't really take care of himself yet.
Right. And she's pregnant. I felt that, like, at this point, Riley did such a good job emoting with her eyes. She just looked so defeated, so sad. And to me, she looked like she aged.
Yeah, you said that.
Like, she just looked like she got older as the time was going, of just, like, this defeat and this loneliness that you are now by yourself and responsible for this young Squatch and now a baby. And so at the campsite, when they're destroying, the young one throws a frisbee and breaks the female's water.
Yeah.
And so she gives birth, which was very interesting to watch that whole.
Yeah, on all fours, like,
Right. Yep.
The way it seems that nature intends for mammals to, humanoid mammals to give birth.
Yeah.
Not on your back.
Yeah. And so she gives birth to this, what I thought was an incredibly adorable Sasquatch baby.
It was a cute little
so
baby.
Cute. Looked like a monkey.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Also like Gollum.
Yes, it did.
Dobby.
like a gremlin-y little kind of.
So cute.
Yeah. With like a little beard.
I know, so adorable. And then to watch these three now travel, and they're just traveling, and you can see as we get closer to the end, like, trees are being knocked down, forest fires are happening,
right?
And I thought they were going to kill the baby.
Oh my God!
We have this scene where they build their shelter. It seems like they build shelter, they take it down. They move to a new location. Like, they're not very
they're nomadic.
Stationary. Yeah, they're nomadic, right. And so they're sleeping, and I guess she fell asleep on top of him.
I couldn't quite understand really what happened. Like, I guess she was kind of on top of him, but also, like, I don't know if that was really...
Yeah.
I don't know. He maybe just, like, choked on... I don't know.
Yeah. So we think that the baby's dead. And I was like,
she's
that's
like
it.
Shaking and freaking out. She's like shaking it and trying to get it
to breathe.
Yeah, to breathe. Oh my God. I was like, really? They're going to kill the baby? Like, oh my Lord. If that would have taken a turn. I don't know that I would have called that a beautiful movie if they killed that little baby Squatch.
I know. But the baby does live.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Baby does live. And that brought me to tears. And then when they find the freaking chicken.
Oh, yeah.
They find this chicken in it. Like, I don't know how this chicken was just like.
I think it was somebody's yard.
How could they be in someone's yard? They're in the forest.
Well, no, but there's land. It's like they're traipsing through probably a mix of public and, private lands and things like that. I
guess so. Yeah, and so they take the chicken, and he's just holding on to it. They're not looking to eat it.
No, I thought
which
that was
found interesting.
Yeah.
They're just like as a buddy.
Yeah, like they were primarily
pescatarian.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say vegetarian, but like because they were basically just eating plants the whole time, and then they found the fish.
Yeah.
And ate all that roe, or I assume was roe.
That was a pretty graphic scene.
Yeah.
When they were just like eating the fish. And, yeah. But I really thought that they were going to kill the chicken to eat it, and they didn't.
No.
They just little buddy is just holding a chicken for funsies and then playing with a trap. The mom realizes it's a trap, like a
bear trap.
A bear trap. She now knows, like, oh my gosh, this is not good.
Yeah. Like they had the one trap that was closed and something gnawed off its own leg because there was a leg bone just sitting in there. And then she looks over, and the kid is just taking the chicken, hovering over an open bear trap, and just like tapping on the center part.
As a kid would.
And she like freaked out. I thought that was like it for the kid's arm or something.
Me
that
too.
They were gonna like disfigure this kid. Like this, like the movie along the way really scarred you because you're just like, oh, what now? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe sweet isn't the right way to describe this movie. No. I think sweet is just like my overall feeling of, I just felt it was really beautiful.
It was a beautiful story, actually, about like a little group of Sasquatch that are kind of dying off. Yeah. So it was also sad. Just like a lot of nature docs, though.
Right.
Some nature docs are just, they're tinged with sadness because nature is sad for us humans who get to contemplate our every action and reason of being, So we project our emotions onto these animals. We're like, oh, look at this poor little animal. Meanwhile, it doesn't know anything. It's hungry. It's tired.
It was there first.
It's fear.
And we're just ruining everything.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the end? We get to the end. The three are now traveling. They notice the forest fires.
You could see like there's like demo equipment and stuff like that, forestry equipment.
And they see a statue of a Sasquatch. And so they start like grunting and they're like, making noise. And obviously the statue's not making any noise back. And we zoom out and they're outside of a Bigfoot museum.
I thought that was hilarious. And they're just standing there in front of it, like, just two people just like standing in front of the museum. Like, that was a great shot.
That was a great shot.
When it zoomed out and you realized where they were.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny.
It was funny, but also sad.
Yeah, I mean, I took it as that's where the movie, I was like, okay, now it's, it's just a movie now.
Yeah.
At that point, it wasn't sad for me. It went to funny.
It went back to funny for you?
Yeah, right there.
Do you like the way it ended?
I don't know how it could have ended other than something where it's just like, that's funny.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
To
just like, you're like, oh,
the love of Sasquatch.
Yeah. Without some voiceover being like, yeah, that's the story of Sasquatch.
That would have been really weird.
Yeah, right. Imagine.
Yeah.
But no. So I thought the ending was good. What do you think?
I did like the ending. It like brings it back to, for me, like, the love of Sasquatch. Like, this movie is for people who love Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
I hope if you love Sasquatch and you're into the lore, you will enjoy this.
Yeah, I would think so.
And
why not?
I know, why wouldn't you? Like, you enjoy all aspects of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I do anyway.
Do you only enjoy watching humans chase after a fake Sasquatch? Is that how much you love Sasquatch? Or do you actually love Sasquatch? Okay. You have to reason with, you have to be honest with yourself here.
And the perspective of what they would be like, the point of view up from them.
Yeah, like are you a scientific Sasquatch or are you like a paranormal Sasquatch?
Oh, interesting.
Sasquatcher, I guess.
Squatch head?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, are you interested in like the nature of Sasquatch or the proposed nature of Sasquatch?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
How do they come, like how do they fit into the evolution, kind of thing? Was there like a break off of Neanderthal that some went to more human and some went to some other branch that kind of died out and didn't really make it, and humans developed like reasoning and ability. I mean, they could use tools. They use tools. Sort of. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, they build houses and stuff, but they just kind of rip things.
Yeah, but they know enough to do that.
They banged on the trees, so they kind of were using tools.
They were using tools.
Yeah, are you just into the paranormal Sasquatching, where you're just going to watch people try to catch a Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Then are you really a lover of Sasquatch if you don't just take all of it in?
I don't think we need to put down
No.
all the Squatchers out
Line
there.
in the sand. Okay, line in the sand here. If you like Sasquatch, if you love Sasquatch, you need to love this movie.
I'd be curious to hear if people love Sasquatch and they didn't like this movie.
I'd be curious as to why they were wrong.
I just want to know why. I just want to hear why.
Yeah, you're right.
May kicks off Mayshell.
Oh, yeah.
The month I am curating the whole month of movies, right? And the last movie of the month will be picked by our patrons, and I'm going to give them a list. And so today I was making the final list, and I put on there the Patterson Gimlin film, which is Patty, which is the minute-long Bigfoot movie from 1967. I mean, this is the most famous where we see Patty walk.
Oh, that thing. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Everybody has seen it.
Yeah.
But I put it on the list, and I would be really curious if our patrons would vote on that.
So wait, it's just the 1 minute.
That's it. It's a film.
Okay.
It's the Patterson Gimlin film.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I put it on there because I think there'd be lots to talk about, and so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see if the patrons choose that. A couple of people reached out because I said I was going to be reviewing this movie. At Dagatoothus, and if I am mispronouncing your handle on Instagram,
I said to say it that way.
I apologize. But they said I loved it. Insane how entertaining it was for there not being much of a plot. Made me sad as well. At Batet, Seasick Crocodile said it's pretty incredible what they can do without a single word. You knew she was pregnant, you understood their customs, you felt their pain and confusion and joy. It was unexpectedly simple but always engaging.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that is the perfect way to describe this.
That just the sex scene I liked, when, just to go back real quick, when she got up and then wiped herself. I thought that was incredibly funny and real.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Clean themselves after sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yes, we all do that, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's relatable.
It's very relatable. Very human.
How are you rating this?
Out
of 1 to 5 stars, and we can do my movie, film, schmovie.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I would give it 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a film.
Yeah. I'm rating this 5 stars.
5 stars.
I'm rating this 5 stars. I'm rating this a film. I think it is perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I would change, to be honest. I don't know what would make it I just don't know that's something. I don't know what sort of doc would make me rate it 5 stars. I mean, I guess I just don't have good enough criteria to rate something as 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I just
You feel
if I like something, if I really love it, it's 5 stars to me.
Okay, yeah.
Are you recommending it?
Wait, for you, what is it? A movie-ish
It's a
movie?
film.
It's a film.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is a 5-star film. This is a piece of art to me.
Yeah, sure.
This is beautifully done.
I would recommend it to anybody who likes Sasquatch, yeah.
Same.
You know.
I'm recommending it to a certain person.
Yeah. I need to know that you're into Sasquatch and weird things like Sasquatch. Otherwise, there's no way that I'm going to tell you to go see this movie. You know, you don't want to tell somebody to go see something and then they come back with this lukewarm yeah, it was all right.
Or it was gross, I walked out. And then to me, I'm you're missing the entire point.
Yeah. Yeah, you missed it.
You missed it.
The train went by and you just stayed on the station.
Unfortunately, you didn't get to experience the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Aunt.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Do you have anything to plug? What are you loving this week?
Working out. Gym. Go to the gym.
Gime?
Exercise.
What's a gime?
A gime. Yeah, exercise. Get sunlight. That's what I'm plugging.
Okay.
Sunlight in the morning and in the evening.
And you know what? This movie ties into it. It made me want to get out in nature.
Get into nature.
Mother
You're
nature.
right. Actually, get into nature.
Yeah.
Get into nature. It does wonders for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for listening. Leave us a review. Rate us 5 stars. Check out our Patreon. All the links you need are in the show notes.
Are you guys on LinkedIn?
I don't think we're on LinkedIn.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Music by Anthony Vicora. If you like the show, please subscribe and give us a rating. It really helps us find new friends. Thanks.